3, 2, 1. Okay, good morning folks. Here's another game review from me. So it's not a live game. This is me going back over a game that I've actually just played. I finished it about 10 minutes ago. And it was just one of those wonderful games that remind me why I love playing Go and why I play Go. It was thrilling, it was exciting, it came to a dramatic climax. My opponent played as hard as he possibly could, so did I. We both made some mistakes and it ended up with one of those elegant situations on the Go board that we sometimes have to gasp that this can possibly happen from what are just very simple concepts. You know, to live on the board you must be able to breathe, to exist you must have liberties. Out of that simplicity comes this absolute elaborate, elegant complexity that is Go, and it's why I love it, and I hope to transmit that love and that passion to my students. Anyway, I'm going to walk through the game. I hope this won't be too long a video, so we'll keep the pace high without too many variations. As I say, we both made mistakes, we both made good points. In this game I was playing white, my opponent was black, and here's the game. So 3-4 points in the upper left from my opponent. I took a lower right 4-4, another 3-4 in the lower left, and I took an upper right 3-4. The reason I took the upper right 3-4 is because I'm exploring making a Semeai in the upper corners, playing white at the moment as my move. And the other thing I'm experimenting with, which happened in this game, is when I'm being approached high like this, rather than doing what the joseki that I've been teaching my students, this one, attach, hane, draw back, connect, extend, which I think is actually too good for black. I've been experimenting with this move, which is the 2-space high pincer, so that white is relying on the stone on the R16 point here to protect the corner and getting a wide pincer. This is particularly valuable, I think, when black is also on the 3-4, so there's quite a wide gap. There's lots of space in between the C16 stone and the M16 stone, so that's the point of that. So black attaches, white hanes, black draws back, white makes a tiger mouth shape to protect its stones. Black pressed immediately, and actually this isn't the joseki move. The joseki move in this situation is this one, but black pressed, so I jumped, black pressed again, I attached, black haned, and I extended once, and then black came again. At that point I think I considered that my right group, although it's fairly pressed against the edge, was in reasonable shape. The 2 points of Semeai, and I know I've talked about Semeai with some of you before, so that if black were to come here, then white can come out here, and vice versa. If black hanes, white goes in. So the Semeai means that I can live either way, is what's going on there. So I approached the upper left corner because I thought the right side was stable. And again, this is it's good practice for your Go, is to just try and figure out, is this stable? Can I leave it? Try not to leave weak groups on the board, but if you've got a group that looks stable and strong and able to look after itself, and often Semeai comes into this in the opening, then play elsewhere, take a bigger point elsewhere in the opening, in the fuseki. So I played here. Black split my 2 stones. It's a reasonable. The gap's quite wide, and why should black? Black's got a strong wall on the right hand side. So I jumped because I'm between 2 wide stones. I know that when we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on our Sunday tutorial, I made a point of saying don't jump if you're flanked. So if this black stone was actually here, not there but there, this would be a difficult jump for white because black could attach under and connect through. But that's not where we were in the game. We're in this situation. So I jumped, so black jumped. So I made a shape move here. I'm less worried about the stones on the E15, E14, sorry, E16, E14, these two at the moment, because they've got pretty good access to the center, and this black stone is weak. But because my white stone here is up against black's wall, black's strong wall on the right hand side. I wanted to give that one some strength and try and make a base. So black comes down, I come up, black harness on top, and then I stretch my leg, so to speak. This is what I call a fighting stance. When you're under attack, you need to widen your base as wide as you can. If you imagine it's in martial arts, in karate or judo or aikido, when you're being attacked, you widen your stance and lower your center of gravity so that you're stable. So this is me making my group stable by widening my base, and it's a classic fighting technique in Go. Black comes out on top, so I can make a connecting move that connects the two stone wall at J1716 to the stone now at L17, which is also then connected with a kosumi to the stone at M16. So this is fairly good, solid, strong shape here, and we've got another knight's move connection. You know, I'm fairly comfortable about my ability to live in this space. Black harness underneath, so those stones are in trouble, so I come down, black backs off, and I make this shape. So this is one eye. Black pushes out, and I can't let black wedge in to this position, because this would blind my eye and I'd have to fill at K17. So I have to connect, and now I'm alive. That white group is absolutely unconditionally alive. There's nothing black can do, because white's got one solid eye here and can make another eye around this area. So white's now alive. That fight's over. So I'm going, okay, I'm alive on the right side, I'm alive in the top center. I've now got to turn my attention to the group over on the left. So black protects its cutting point, so I attach to give my stone some shape. Black harness, I draw back, black descends to take the corner so that white can't make an eye in that corner, and so I give my stone some shape, protect the cutting point by making a tiger mouth there. Black plays this move, and this was the first of a number of slack moves by black in this fight. We both play slack moves and wrong moves throughout the game, because I don't need to do anything with that. There's no cutting point that needs connecting with that move, so I can simply make another tiger mouth outside to make sure that my stones have got access to the center. Because if you've got to run, you need to have a route out. Getting trapped inside is bad. So black threatens the cutting point, but notice again, that's a second move that I simply do not have to answer. There's no move that black can make. There's no move anywhere around here. If black plays here, I can connect here, and vice versa. If black plays here, I connect here. There's no actual move that black can make, so I get a second move, and so I make a knight move out here. Black makes a shape move, threatening to Atari my stone at G14, so I come out to protect that stone, and then black makes the first of a series of moves that are threatening, that I do have to answer. I do have to answer this move here, otherwise black can cut me in half at that point, so I answer, and then black plays here, and again I don't want black to wedge into my shape here, so I answer, and then black makes a shape move on the edge. And this is all good play by black. This is squeezing that white group and make sure that it's short of eyes. So I come out once, black comes out, and now I change tack. I just turn that way. Again, this is a similar kind of tactic. I'm trying to widen my area. I'm trying to widen as much as I can my area of operations in which I can make between here and here, in which I can make two eyes. And getting as wide as I can. It's the same idea behind widening out here as I did when I was under attack, to make sure you've got space to make those eyes. So this was a widening, and black responded. So I jumped to here, which made me almost alive, almost two eyes. Not quite. There is a move that black can play. So black played here and I played here, and now I am alive with two eyes. So I can go, okay, that group is now good. So I'm looking at the board and saying, this white group here, A is alive, B is alive, and C is alive. Black's got, out of those exchanges, black's got very little in this group here, in the squared group. In terms of points, it's got some potential. Very little here in terms of points, but black's got good points on the left hand side with this group, so I've got to now pay attention. So black comes along, and then I make another, I turn. Okay, so I turned here because to my reading this group was still weak. It didn't have very good shape, and so I wanted to, in compensation for black's points along the edge here that black had got, I wanted to see for white if I could develop an equal number of points on this side here so that the exchanges would be fair. Black's pushed my white group here and made points, and I wanted to push black's group to make points. So black comes that way, first threaten the cutting point, and that stone becomes absolutely vital later in the game. I didn't know it at the time, but that's a vital stone. And then I jump out here. I'm prepared to give this stone up as light. It was just there to get black a response, so that this white group on the top here has access to the center and doesn't get shut in by black. So black made a shape move, and then I start to gather my points. Black plays here. As I've said, this is not an important stone. It's not doing any useful work. Its work was as a forcing move to make black close that tiger mouth. So I can give that up lightly. So I just make sure that I've got access to the center of the board, out through here with this group here. Because I've still got an eye on, can I do something to harass or chase or pressure this black group here that's weak. So black comes up there, and I do a final shape move there just to make sure. It was a bit belt and braces, but I knew that if black played there, I would have to answer back, so I thought I'd answer in gote, and then black came out. And then I took my points. So this is actually me taking the points here on the right side in this area in compensation for the points that black's already got in this area. And if it was me and I was black, I'd have played somewhere down over on the left side in this kind of area to equal that score up. But black was feisty. Black immediately went, I'm jealous of your points. I don't want you to have those. You can't have those. I'm going to stop you. So I harneyed, black cut. I descended. I think that was right. I'm not sure. I'm somebody wiser than me might be able to have some comments on that move. I was happy for black to cut because I thought the top side was strong, and if black was going to split me, then I didn't want to get pressed down to the side. The absolute answer here is I didn't want black to press me low and me to grovel along the edge underneath here, trying to make some space. I wanted to fight. Now I thought that this group, the white group above, the triangle group here, was alive. It had eyes, and that actually if black comes in and I attack the black stone, then I can make potentially some points in this area here. And it's when we begin to play Go, it's not always obvious how we build points by attacking. We often try and just doggedly protect the territory that we think is rightfully ours, but what we start to try and think about, what we try and start to teach, is think in a broader sense about where's the territorial potential and how can you attack weak stones profitably in order to build that potential. So black cut, so I came down. The other alternative would be to come out, but then that would give black quite a free ride to split these apart. So I came down, black Taurus, I came out, black came out. I tarried once here, black came down, I came down again, black protected, and then I jumped. I could have harneyed here, but notice the harney doesn't quite work because black then threatens to cut the two stones, and if I protect, then black gets this move. And it all becomes a bit threatening for white. What does white do now? Oh, it's black's move. I think black can then play on the outside, and white has then got to go back and fix this, and then black gets more moves on the outside. Different sequence. So I jumped, black pushed, I attached here. Now by attaching, I'm letting black split my right hand side in two. So black harneyed, so I took, and black came out connecting on the outside. And so I made a big jumping shape move, as I said earlier, trying to grab this area of territory across the corner in exchange for the loss of the points in this area. So black immediately jumps in because black loves to fight. And attach means my corners got smaller. Black harneyed, I draw back. Black pushed again, I draw back to the tiger mouth. And then black makes a shape move. A nice move for white would have been here at this one, to disrupt, to try and restrict black to one eye. But that's not the move I played. I then attached to the corner because I didn't want black to, if I'd have played something like this, black could have actually in theory just extended here, and then this black corner here starts to get super big like this. Anyway, back to the game. I played here, black came out, I attached in the corner. This is the attached drawback Choseki with making a shape move. So I'm making a white living group on there so that that can't become black's territory. Black comes, I aim at the cutting point. Black harneys, I harney, come along, he extends, I extend. Black has now got to fix its cutting point at D7, which it does with a jump. And now I played a move that actually almost cost me the game. Looking at AI, at this point I lost a huge amount because I, in exchange for some center points, I gave up the edge points, and I think that was now, with hindsight, was a mistake. I should have, this white group on the edge here, the one that I'm talking about, this one, could now easily live, and by living it would have eroded all of black's points. The problem for me with that, and the living move for white would be to do something like this shape, is that black can then set up a really severe attack on this white stone, and this area of territory on the lower side then becomes very big, and I could kind of see that happening. So after black's jump, I connected here, threatening a cut and push, so black connected, and then I pushed out once, black blocked. The white group's now got 3 liberties, and then I cut black here. So black harneyed, a great move by black. There isn't a good answer for my white. Obviously if white doesn't respond appropriately, black can cut and kill because the 3 stones have only got 2 liberties, and so black's next move there puts them in Atari. But I decided to abandon these stones. Didn't think I thought it through quite clearly, but that's what I did. So I cut here, Ataring the 3 black stones, and black connected, and then I Ataried again a second time, and still I could have, I'm in trouble now. These stones here are in deep doo-doo. They've only got, this group here has only got 2 liberties. And this one, if white connects, probably can't live either. So my only plan, and it was the plan I set out with, was to Atari these. So black Ataris my stones. So I take black stones, and then black connects. And what that means is that I've given up this group of stones, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. There's probably 30 points there, 20 to 30 points, in exchange for this powerful wall in the center of the board. And that might seem a slightly unusual exchange, and Sente. So that's what happened in the game. So black, and then with the Sente, I made a base on the lower side, like this. And this sequence here. I'll just come back and talk about that. These 2 moves. So what's the exchange here? Now black has got this very big corner here, which is worth all the way along the edge. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 32, 40 points. I mean, there's a 40-point territory there, and white simply doesn't have 40 points on the board. White's got about 10 here, maybe 5 here, 15, currently maybe 10 here, 25, and here we've got about another 15 at the moment. So maybe 40. But there's 40 points for black there, and that's not including the points around the centre. So I think black's certainly ahead, and the AI believe that black was ahead. So white made this move, black wedged, black white blocked, black connected, and then white came out. The reason for the come out is that if white tries to protect either here, because there's a cut and Atari there, or indeed here, the cut and Atari still happens. This black group on the lower edge is alive, black's alive here, and this white group on the left hand side, the triangle group, is very weak. And one way of protecting both of those with a single move is this, so that if black cuts on this side I can connect, or if black Atari is this side I can connect, and the black stone is lost. This black stone, if black cuts here, black hasn't got a good move now. The two black stones are going to die. If black cuts the other way, that comes here, and again it's not going to work. But if at this stage black gets this Atari and white takes, then black can attack this white group. And so there were two groups under attack. This move means that this cut is not an easy cut for black. White, black, white. Black comes out, and then white can aim for this wall over here and get out, although that creates some problems. Ultimately on the right hand side here, in this area of the board, we're talking about a reduction of the points in the corner rather than the death of a group, and that was much more preferable. That's much, I could accept a reduction, I couldn't accept the death. So I came there, so black folded round, I came here, black came out to make some shape for the stones. I protected that cutting point and made an eye there. Black harnade, I harnade, I make shape to protect the cutting point. And I think black does a number of these now. So black comes out there, and I just place a stone into the centre of the board. And the reason for the stone in the centre of the board is having spent or exchanged, given up a lot in the corner in order to get this kind of super strong wall and this wall here, that I thought I could do something useful in the centre. So black came that way, and then I cut at that cutting point. Black Atari in that direction. I think black was more fearful than he needed to be of this cut, and probably should have Atari'd me in the other direction. But I came down, he came down, I came down, he came down, and this is now starting to be bad for black, because white's got a powerful friend here and some powerful friends here, and black's just pushing me down towards my powerful friends. And now this wall has taken all of the potential out of the black group here. All the centre potential out of this group has gone. And so black takes out my stone, and then I do this because I'm looking at that black group, and I think it's actually short of eyes. It can't really make eyes in the corner up here. If black plays there, black automatically gets 2 eyes, and so this destroys or reduces black to 1 eye there. And black has got to answer, because notice if black doesn't answer immediately, then when white places a stone here, it's an Atari on the black stone, and if black connects this stone at N12, then white kills these two and breaks in. So these 2 stones in the centre of the shape are very powerful, because they're 2 stones inside black shape with 3 liberties. So black connects to stop that possibility that Atari once and kill. So black connects, and then white plays here, and the reason for here is to flank this stone with these two, and that means that this space here cannot become an eye, and it's taking black's eyes away. So black plays here, and so white plays a bamboo joint. So there is no eye there for black, so black comes down, and white doesn't have to answer because this group are not in trouble right now. But what white has to do is set up what we call the eye stealing Tetsuji, where that space can no longer become an eye because it's flanked by these two black stones, and this space can no longer become an eye because it's diagonally cut with these two stones. So actually in this whole area for black, all of these lower stones, there are now no eyes. In fact, black's only eye is here, and this is only one eye. So black's now in serious trouble. So black Ataris the three stones. I take. Black tries to make an eye shape by Atarying the white stone on N3. So I connect. And then black tries to make an eye in the corner, but the T18 move sets up an Atari R18. And so black descends, and then white pushes in here. Notice that black now can't make an eye with this sequence because again white sets up the same eye stealing Tetsuji with this the two triangled stones, and if black were to play something like here in response, white simply connects like this, and so now there are no further eyes. There's no eye here, there's no eye here, there's no eye here, and there's no eye here. So black has only got one eye, and the whole group is in danger of dying, and that's a resign game. Let's just go back. So black starts its counterattack, so it wedges out. So black is now looking to attack and kill this part of the surrounding group. This is the weakest part of the surrounding group. The rest is strong and connected, and so black attacks the weakest part, which is quite correct. So white Ataris, and then black Ataris the two stones, which would make a second eye. So white has to connect. White's now terribly short of liberties. The white group's only got 2 liberties. So black sets up this Atari. And the Atari that you may not be able to see is if white should have taken the ko. I thought I could fight this without the ko, and the ko is here. This is the ko that I'm talking about. This ko here. But I thought I could fight without the ko. So white connected here, but that meant that black could get this double Atari in. So if white connects, black connects and kills the lower side. Black kills the white stones here, although black would still get this. So, but I was being greedy. I wanted everything. I thought I could have everything here. So I connected, and black connected, which did kill it, and that was an exchange. But now white is in trouble, so I took the ko, knowing that black would have to answer that, and black connects the ko, and then I jump out. So what have we got going on here? We've now got a Semeai in place between this black group, all of these black stones here with their one eye, and these black stones here all the way down to here, and including these, not white ones. These black stones are now in a Semeai with these white stones. If white can get out to this wall over on this side, then white's home dry. It's game over for black. So black blocks the route by throwing one of its soldiers in front of my escape route. So I come up, black comes down. Knowing that I can't connect there. It's making me eye of these points. If white comes this way, black comes this way, and white can't stop the stones connecting. So I connected that way, hoping to make an eye, and black blocked. And then I pushed once, and black blocked. And then I pushed this way. Obviously, I would love to be able to play next that point, and that gives me an eye. Although black can still take away this eye, but black blocked the eye. So I connected to gain liberties, and black blocked. And now we come down to liberty counting in this Semeai. And actually white's at a disadvantage, a slight disadvantage, because black has got quite a lot of liberties up top. And black made a mistake here. Black started to focus on this group here, but actually noticed that that group of 4 stones has nothing to do with the Semeai. It's outside the Semeai. The Semeai involves all of the white stones down this chain, around here and around here. So white made an eye. So that now we're in a fight with 1 eye versus 1 eye. If you're ever in a fight with 1 eye versus no eye, you've lost. If you're a fight with 1 eye against 2 eyes, you've lost. But in a fight with 2 groups, both with 1 eye, it's game on. So black blocked. And white descended. So now we do have to count liberties, and we just have to take a moment to count. So white here has got 1 liberty, 2 liberties, an eye, and a co-liberty. White has only got 4 liberties. Okay? Black has got 1 liberty, 2 liberties, 3 liberties, 4 liberties, 5 liberties, potentially 6, 7, 8. This should have been black's Semeai, without doubt. That white group in the middle is on a hiding to hell. But black, and actually what black could have done is just given up some of these points, given up some of this space. So, but black connected, and then white blocked that way. So black's not yet in Atari, nothing's going on, and so black connected at that side to stop white pushing it. And then white Atari'd here. Obviously that's an Atari right at the center there, and if that group had died, the white group would come back to life, and black would be all dead with 1 eye. So black connected, and now let's look. White's liberty count actually hasn't changed. White's still got 1, 2, 3 a co-eye, 4. But black, if we look here, has now got no liberties here apart from the co-liberty. Black has got 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. So we're down to an even liberty count. So white takes a liberty off black, and black connects. Black didn't need to connect there because that group actually wasn't in the fight. The S19 and 18 group actually isn't in the fight. And black connected there, and then white connected there, and then black started to attack this group because black can't play this space directly until this group here dies. So black and white ignored, and so white took another outside liberty for black, and then black realizes what's going on and takes an outside liberty for white. So now this white group has got 1, and 2 is an eye, and 3 is a co-liberty, and the black group has now got, the white's got 3, black group has got 1, 2, 3. as well, plus the co. So we're on equal liberty count now. So white descends because I can't play the R1, the R19, the 1 liberty directly, nor can I play the T2, the T19 directly. These are called approach liberties. They take 2 moves. So actual fact, although black has only got 3 liberties on the board, 1, 2 and 3, white can't play any of them directly. They're all going to involve an approach, and in this case 2 approaches. So actually black has got 5 liberties. It's got 2 more liberties because of the approaches, because of that eye. So white has got to play a stone. Let's get rid of the numbers. White's got to play a stone there before it can approach 1, and white has got to play a stone there before it can approach the corner 1, and it can't approach here directly. So actually black has got 5 liberties in this fight against white's 3. So I got away with this. So I play here. So black Ataris the white group in the center here. But I'm still buying time because I now approach. That's got rid of one of the approach liberties. So black has now actually got 2 physical liberties. 1 liberty, 2 liberties. But again, notice that the T1 is an approach liberty. White can't play that directly. So even though black has only got 2 liberties on the board, it's worth 3 liberties because of that approach liberty that white must play. White has got to play a stone here before it can approach the corner. So black takes one of white's liberties. So white is now down to 2 liberties. They're here, 1, 2, but this is a co-liberty, and so white plays the approach liberty out now. So black has now got 3 liberties. Please stay with me. This is a great fight. 1, 2, 3. But they're worth 4 because white can't play the P15, the vital final killing liberty, that one there at P15, until all the other ones are filled. So black now takes here to put white into Atari. So the white stones in the centre have only got 1 eye. Right here it's their only eye, it's all they've got, and if white doesn't do something, they're going to they die next move and black comes to life, and it's a resign game for me. But because of the shape, white takes back, and so white now has 2 liberties and black has got 3. So black plays here and white takes the corner. Notice, really notice now, see what's going on. Black cannot close the co. If black closes the co, white will kill black by playing at P15. So black cannot close that co. That's really, really important in this fight. So black plays Atari on white from that side. So white takes the co, and white's got 2 liberties back again. An eye liberty and the co liberty. Black takes 2 white stones, and white throws back. Black's in Atari again. Black's only got 1 liberty now at P13. So black takes the co, and white's in Atari, but white takes the co, and black's in Atari. And at that point, black resigns the game because it's called double co. So although black can fill the co here and stop this co happening, black can never fill this co, because when black fills that co, white kills the whole group. So black has got to maintain that co fight going, and in double co there isn't a co threat anywhere on the board that would compensate black for the loss of all of these stones. And so we have a Semeai here with double coat, and that's how the game ended, because as you can see, if at that point white takes that and black can't connect, black cannot connect on this side, because if black connects like this, then so take that one out. If black had connected like this, then white would simply kill everything here. So after this point, black's looking for a co-threat, because if wherever that might be, and so say black plays, I don't know what co-threat could black play that might harm white. Well, that's a reasonable co-threat, because that would threaten to kill the white stones. It would kill the two white stones and liberate white. So white will answer that co-threat, but that answer means that black also has to play here, and then white can take this co, and black's in Atari again, and even if white takes this co back, white plays here. So you can see this was one of those amazing, elegant, beautiful, brutal situations on the Go board, where out of such amazing simplicity, if you need liberties to live on the board, come these elaborate, complex, tactical, strategic ideas and processes, and it's simply miraculous, and it's why I love Go. Okay, I'm going to keep that as short as I can. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a thrilling game. It was a fantastic game. I so loved it, and I'm so grateful to my opponents for putting up such a great fight and pushing us both to the edge of our ability. I'm about 7Q, he was about 7Q, but it's one of the wonders of Go. It doesn't matter what our level is. Go forces us to play at the peak of our ability, whatever that is. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you like the way I explain, like the way I teach on 10 Minutes to Go, then please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like. All of this helps because it brings more traffic and more people to my site. I don't do any of this for money. I'm a completely amateur Go player. I do this because I love Go, so I'm not trying to monetize anything out of this. It's just my passion and my enthusiasm for the game. Okay guys, hope to see you again soon. Thanks for that. Bye for now.